10 minutes of adductor exercises. We're gonna start laying on our back. I've got a long band that I've looped up to make a small band. And let's see, I'm facing a different direction. So, stinker. Oh yeah, you'll see it this way. So I'm gonna put it just right underneath my knee, and I'm gonna lie down on my back, and my knees are out into like now a V shape. Taking an exhale, wrap and engage the, contract the pelvic floor, lift, exhale, wrap the abdominals, bringing those knees into the midline of the body. Now I'm gonna readjust. It feels like there's just too much pull without the right amount of resistance. Exhale, knees meet right over the midline. So the tendency, of course, is for the band to pull. Alexa, set timer for 9 minutes. Now I'm feeling this in my adductor on the side that is laced, and also the lower transverse abdominals on the side. You will also feel this in your hip flexor, but primarily in your adductor. Now to make this a little bit more core focused, I can curl my upper body up, making sure that there's no bulging at the belly. Exhale, wrap, zip up the abdominals from the pubic bone to the belly button and then the ribs. And I'm gonna switch sides, trying to get maybe 10 to 12, maybe 15 on each side. I've got a lot of exercises to show you girls, so unfortunately you are gonna get the crotch shot just to save time and having to move the camera frame. Exhale, but this is a good view for you to just see where my body meets in the midline. And if you need support, your hands can be on the floor. Inhale, open, relax, lengthen the pelvic floor. Exhale, engage, wrap and zip. Inhale, relax and lengthen. Exhale, squeeze at the vagina, lift all the way up. Inhale, relax, lengthen. And you should feel those abdominals contract all the way up to the ribs without arching or pulling in your back. If you need to run a little more, simply lift your upper body up. Hands can still be on the floor. Hands can be supported wherever you feel good. Just try to keep that midline of connection. 2. Watching out for the bulge. Really exhale, wrap, scoop the lower belly, pull the belly button in and up towards the ribs. Come on out of there. All right, lace your foot back into the band. Now we're gonna be on our knees. I'm gonna grab a ball and a block. One knee is gonna be up on the block. The opposite one is laced. I've got that band laced just below the knee, and there's tension on the band. Exhale, I'm gonna press into the ball as I pull the leg with the band close to the stabilizing leg. And I feel pretty secure right there. I'm gonna go ahead and make this just a little more difficult. As I abduct the leg, I'm also gonna reach the arm. Exhale, nice, good, firm connection. And with my stabilizing hand, I'm trying to create equal amounts of pressure into each 5 digits, just so my wrist isn't taking the load. Now, inhale, exhale. We've got 2 different places of instability on contralateral places of the body. So this is a lot of work. It should feel uncomfortable and challenging, but doable. One more. Okay, and I'm gonna turn around, do the opposite side. Hope my ball doesn't go away. Don't mind my dirty feet, my gym is ready for a cleaning. All right, this is great because then you can see where my hips are. And as I'm up on this block, you really want to make sure that you're not leaning into one side. So sometimes if we have really weak adductors and glute knees, we'll lean. Really try to keep this hip right over the knee. Just pressing my hand into the ball, getting that nice, good contralateral strength. Now you can keep this toe on the floor for support, or if you like the instability, you can leave it up I'm gonna go ahead and add those arm reaches. Reach, exhale, pull, zip it up, inhale, exhale, 5, inhale, 4, inhale, 3, 2, 1 more, exhale, and I'm gonna come on out of here. All right, quadruped bug, standing single leg abductions. Now I'm gonna keep my foot in the band. I've just lowered the anchor point. I'm gonna keep my ball, and I'm going to abduct the standing leg to the midline of the body. Now I'm adding this squeeze with the ball at the top, so that I get good engagement up here at the upper abdominals. This helps to counteract that rib flare. Inhale, expand. Exhale, I'm imagining there's a zipper from the base of my pubic bone zipping all the way up to my sternum as I bring that leg in. Now you can add a little rotation at your mid-back. So good for your spine to find opportunities to create thoracic rotation. You can even change directions. 3, 2, 1, and I'm going to change legs here. This is great because now you get to see what happens with my hips in the back. Inhale, exhale, abduct. And this is definitely a little, maybe I have a little too much tension or I feel a little less stable, but you want to avoid as much as you can this hip hiking to bring it in. You want to try to keep those hips on a nice playing range of motion as much as you can, using breath with movement. So my toes are perfectly facing forward. I'm not externally rotating, meaning you're not going to see this toe turn outward and you're not going to see this toe turn outward. 3, 2, add that rotation. We'll do one more so I can get one on both sides. Beautiful. Okay, what do I have next? A lateral lunge and a side lunge. So I'm going to use a furniture slider, but if you have a plate for carpet or a towel for hardwood, it works so great. So I'm going to try to get maybe 10 each leg. I'm going to sink back into a lateral lunge. I'm going to put pressure into this foot right here and drag it up. Watch my leg right here because you can kind of see the muscles engaging. Put pressure into that foot and slide it up. And as I slide it up, I'm continuing that feeling of a zipper, just zipping from my pubic bone to my belly button, and lastly, my ribs. So you could certainly add a dumbbell with this. Hold your dumbbell here, slide it up. You could also certainly add that medicine ball. Inhale, reach, or sorry, stability ball. Exhale, press. Mine's not really in reach right now, so I'm just going to use pressure from my own body. That's the same thing. 3, drag. Really be intentional by pressing this foot into the floor. Switch sides. Now we can add a little rotation if you wanted to at the top. Inhale, press. Inhale. Notice as I'm rotating, it might look a little awkward. It sure feels a little awkward because we don't live like that. But I'm creating space in my mid-back for that diaphragm to expand, for me to have better breath expansion, while keeping my hips forward. Now, if that doesn't feel good for you, I like my arms up, kind of balance out the weight in my hips. Now, be intentional. It's really easy for this to be the working leg, and it is a working leg. It's stabilizing, but I'm putting intentional pressure into this foot as I slide upward, continuing the motion of contracting the belly. All right, there's my timer. I've got one more exercise for us. I lost count. Let's do one more. All right, Alexa, timer off, and we'll do the Copenhagen. So you can use a bench, a step up, a chair. I'm gonna put my foot, my knee on the edge, wrist, elbow, shoulder in alignment, and I'm gonna just show you this. You can see how I'm wrapping and engaging my core before I add movement with my leg, because this is a big movement. Did you see how I wrapped all the way up to my ribs before I added movement? So I'm squeezing at the base of the vagina, lifting that imaginary blueberry all the way up. Nothing is dead or silent right now. Both adductors are working. My obliques on this side are working. Try not to lock out this elbow. Keep a tiny microscopic bend into that elbow. We want the muscles stabilizing, not the joints. We want the muscles assisting the joints, not the joints locking out to do the movement. One more. And making sure we're not like dumping into our shoulder, that you're engaging your lats and serratus. I'm gonna do this from behind. My knee is right on the edge. 3, 2, 1. So notice I'm not dipping or dropping. I'm really trying to keep my body in a nice side plank. And if you were to put your hands right here on your own body, you should feel your lats engaged and supporting. So I'm thinking about pulling my shoulder blades down towards my hips throughout the movement, creating lots of space between the shoulders and the ears. Linking breath work with movement, not collapsing into the shoulder or the hips. Resting whenever you need to. Do a reset, shake it out, come back to it. Perfect form matters more than volume of reps. Now, I'm gonna show you the progression to that, but I'm out of time to do that with you. The progression would be to lengthen the lever. So I'm gonna put one foot on the edge, get myself into this nice plank, and abduct that bottom leg to the top. Now, to make this more difficult, this would be higher so that this leg would have a little more range of motion. All right, girls, 10 minutes adductor. You could repeat that whole progression 2 or 3 times. You could just take 2 or 3 pieces of exercises out of there that you like. Have fun with it. They're all fantastic adductor exercises for your core and pelvic floor. And remember, if you have weak adductors, that works hand in hand with having a weak core, especially those lower transverse abdominals. So strong transverse abdominals, strong core. Want to get rid of that mommy pooch, you have to work on strengthening your adductors, because that helps to support your pelvis.